Welcome back to the Flix tutorial series. This lesson covers the round-trip workflow between Flix and Avid Media Composer. First, you need to make sure that Avid is your default editorial tool. Go to Preferences, then Third-Party Apps. Under General, go to the Editorial Tool drop-down menu and select Avid Media Composer. In the Published Directory section, click Browse and select a folder. This is where your published AAFs from Flix will be stored. Flix allows you a number of additional options for exported AAFs in the Avid Media Composer preferences. For example, you can specify a naming convention, set the codec, and whether to embed the timing established within Flix into the AAF. This is useful if you want to retain the timing of a pitch that was recorded earlier in Flix. Settings can be enforced at the studio or show level. To learn more, watch the dedicated video on settings and preferences. The link is in the description. When your sequence is ready to send to editorial, click on the Publish to Editorial button. Enter a comment if needed. This appears in the email notification. Click Publish and Flix creates two AAF files. One AAF has the suffix ALL. Because this is the very first AAF created from this sequence, it contains media for all the panels in the sequence. The second AAF has the suffix NEW, because it contains only media for panels that are being published to editorial for the first time. First, make sure your media creation settings match the export setting in Flix. For example, my last AAF exported from Flix was encoded as a DNxHD36 file, so I need to make sure that my project is set to import that codec. Now I can simply drag my AAF into a bin. All my clips are imported, and a sequence is created based on the timing set in Flix. New clips are tagged green, but you can change that setting in Flix if you want new clips to be tagged with a different color. Let's say I make a change to my sequence in Flix and export another AAF. When I import the updated AAF, Avid reports that not all the media has come across. This is good, because the AAF should only contain clips I've changed. Otherwise, I'd end up with duplicate media. You can see in the bin that only the clips referencing panels that have changed are green. The others are colorless because that media hasn't been brought across. When I open the sequence, those clips appear as media offline. Now I can simply relink them with Avid's relink tool. So now the sequence is linking to both media from the original AAF I made and the new one with the updated clips. In cases like this, you might prefer to import the new.aaf because it brings across only the new clips and creates a sequence containing only those clips. As you can see here, there are placeholders on the timeline corresponding to the clips from the sequence containing all clips, but the only clips online are the new ones embedded in the new.aaf. To send your sequence back to Flix, you first need to export an embedded AAF from Avid. Right-click on the sequence and select Output, Export to File. Or right-click on the sequence viewer and select Export. Click Options to set the export settings. Make sure to select Copy All Media so you don't make a link to AAF, a mixdown, or consolidated sequence. Export in the codec that Flix is set to. So because I sent AAFs from Flix in DNxHD36, I need to keep my export in that codec. Under Media Destinations, set the video data to Embedded in AAF. Now check the audio details. Make sure the audio is set to 48 kHz, 24-bit in PCM format. Just double check that audio is also set to be embedded in the AAF. Click Save, choose a location for the AAF, then save again. To bring the updated sequence into Flix from editorial, go up to the breadcrumb and click Sequence. This opens up the list of revisions. Click on Editorial. Now you can browse for the AAF that's come back from editorial. Or if you know the file path, you can enter it here. This drop-down allows you to choose how to handle effects from editorial. Let's say the editor has added a resize effect on this panel to simulate a camera move. If I want to retain the camera move effect, I choose Render All Frames here. If I don't want Flix to render that effect and just relink to the original panel instead, I select Ignore Effects. Otherwise, I can choose between Render All Frames or Hold First Frame, depending on whether I want all the frames to be rendered for the clips with effects, or just have a single frame representing it in Flix. When this has been decided, enter a comment if you want, and click Import. The comment appears here in the revisions list on the new sequence revision. Now let's check what's changed. Here is the new sequence revision created by importing the AAF. I know that because it has a tick in the From Editorial column. Here is the panel that the editor put a resize effect on. I can tell because Flix has put the ref icon on it, so I can see at a glance that it's been created in Editorial, and that it is an animated panel. Story artists can always retrieve the original PSD from here in the Related column. In case a change needs to be made to a background or layer, because all these elements are obviously flattened in the AAF. Click the thumbnail to replace the ref with the original panel. Click on the Photoshop icon to open the original panel in Photoshop, or click the plus symbol to add the panel to the sequence. So that covers the basic round trip between Avid and Flix. Thanks for watching.